Sponsored by the Glass Jug. Located just off State Road 55 in Durham, the Glass Jug is the only place in the Triangle where you can browse a selection of hundreds of different craft beers, sit and enjoy one of 16 different beers on tap, and then take home a counter-pressure-filled growler of your favorite draft beer. Their growler filling technology ensures beer freshness and carbonation for much longer than growlers filled from the tap. Join the Glass Jug for free tasting events every Thursday at 5 p.m. We'll see you at the Glass Jug.
Hi, I'm Glenn. Dave's behind the camera. We're the NC Beer guys, and welcome to another episode of the NC Beer Buzz. We found our way today to way up north of Raleigh at 540 and Gresham Lake Road, and the brand new, soon-to-be, brewing, Compass Rose Brewery, and Thomas Vincent, an old friend of ours. We're going to learn all about what's going on here. But if you guys want to find Gresham Lake Road, and Thomas up at Compass Rose Brewery, it's at 540 off of Capitol on Gresham Lake Road. Come straight out Capitol, take a left, and you're there.
Exactly. It's
Sounds
easy.
Good. So right now, Thomas, we are tap room's open.
Yes, it is.
We're doing guest taps.
Yep.
We're that close to brewing.
With a lot of North Carolina beers and
Right.
right on the edge of brewing. Yes.
Right. Good. So a lot of our viewers will be familiar with you and your past from Natty Greene's.
Yes.
But you came to Natty Greene's with a lot of brewing experience already.
Right. I had brewed at Big Boss before that, and before that I was helping people learn how to homebrew, both at American Brewmaster and homebrew shop out in Arizona.
And you came here and you also taught here and teach here.
Yes. I'm actively teaching the Wake Tech class, the first level class over for craft beer brewing. Mm-hmm. So.
And at some point, did you come, or did you always know you want to do your own thing? Because you brewed for a lot of guys in a lot of situations.
Well, the story my wife loves to tell is that, oh, do you want to be brewing? And I said, no, I'd rather just write about beer or you know, be a beer blogger. It's too much work working in a brewery.
And teach it.
And then, no, just, yeah, and a little bit of teaching.
Mm-hmm. And
then, well, then I started working at Big Boss, and she's like, well, do you want to be a head brewer and run your own brewery? I'm like, oh, that's too much work. I don't want to do that. No, and then I started working at Natty Greene shortly thereafter.
And saw how much work it was.
Right, and then 6 months to a year later, my wife said to me, so do you ever want to open your own place? And I said, no, I don't want to do that. That's way too much work for me. I could possibly.
Right. So how did it come to be? I mean, how did you evolve from what you were doing, fairly content,
right,
in the brewing world, beer world?
Yeah. What happened was I ran into Jose Luis Martinez, John Coulter, and Gary Kohake. They're business partners who are in a food trading company, and they've already started and invested into a brewery down in Mexico, in Blvd. And with that, they got really excited about it and really involved, but they kind of wanted to have a place closer to home that they could get involved with. And they homebrewed, but they don't necessarily have the experience themselves, so they were looking for a brewer that they could get for it. And we all had the same vision that there was no really nice place with a beer hall-like quality in North Raleigh. Okay. And that's what we wanted to do, was someplace with a big tap room, a lot of room to hang out. Because, you know, a lot of times tap rooms are wonderful, but they get a little squeezed for space sometimes.
And traditionally, there were afterthoughts.
Right.
The brewery came first, and then they decided, well, we need to serve some beer on premises. So you wound up with little holes at the front door where you could get a beer. And then people realized that the retail side was good on premises, and the laws changed to allow it.
Exactly. And so now we wanted to take it one step better. I mean, we've got some nice locally made furniture from Bull City Design. They did a wonderful job for us on this furniture here. We've got some other wood from North Carolina rimming the bar, or around the bar. And we just wanted to make it that comfortable kind of a beer hall experience for people. So.
Great. And we're just close to brewing, as you said, our own beer.
Right.
That's like within weeks or a couple
Yes, within a couple of weeks, right. We'll be brewing our own beer, and it'll start off with an agave cream ale, a saison, because I love a good saison, and there really aren't that many in the market right now. And then I also am going to do an IPA, what I'm calling Endless Voyage is the tentative name. And it's going to be always a revolving hop bill, because the thing is, while I love a great IPA, with the hop contracts and how tight the hop market is right now, why don't we just take advantage and play to that and expect that we're always going to be changing that IPA?
Instead of wedding yourself to one beer recipe with one hop, you've always got to procure that hop.
And find it. Let's just keep evolving it and seeing where it goes.
Right.
And that, to me, is a little bit better of an approach. And then the nice thing is with our 16 taps, we can bring in somebody like Hop Drop and Roll or you know, Jade IPA, that people want that hop, that we can have other hoppy options, not necessarily ours, that are, you know, that they can get those hops where I might not have access to.
Sure.
So.
Will there'll be some Compass Rose flagships, so you'll settle in on some.
And those three I'm hoping will be our flagships. We'll see how it's up to the customer in the end. I can brew what I think is the best beer, but if they don't latch on to it, then, you know, we'll see how that. And then we'll also have 5 rotating taps on a regular basis
of our own
that we're doing different styles with. And the point for that is everybody loves the new thing. Everybody can't wait until, I get to try this new one. There's these guys I know, they do it on videotape every week, trying a different beer.
A new beer. That's right.
So there's a lot of great options out there, but you know, it definitely keeps people interested, I think.
And then also supplement that always with the guest taps.
Right, exactly.
So flagships of your own, some rotations of your own, and then always guest taps.
Yep, that's the plan.
That sounds great. Some local accounts too. You don't expect people to always have to come into Compass Rose,
of course,
to get a Compass Rose beer.
Exactly. We will be selling kegs on the market. I've got some
packaging yet.
No packaging for the moment.
Okay.
The cooler that we have for the packaging or distribution side is a little bit on the smaller side for now. And as we grow that, and as the market picks up and demand goes, we'll just get a bigger cooler, and then we can start talking about packaging and how we're going to do that.
But first, some local accounts.
Yep. I've got, there's the sponsor of this NC Beer guys. I hear he wants a keg.
Yeah.
I've got some other bottle shops I know that want kegs. I've talked with a number of restaurants here around the Triangle that have already expressed interest. So I think you'll see us on tap real fast as soon as we're on the market.
That's great. That's good. So let's talk about your system a little bit. What kind of system are we going to be brewing on? I'm
going to be brewing on a 10-barrel combo system from Atlantic Brew Supply. It's very similar to the system that Linwood Grill has, except for I have a little bit more modernized, updated version with a few improvements.
And some more space. More space than they have.
I have more space than they have. And the nice thing is I've designed it so that while we're starting off with this 10-barrel system, we can pull those 10-barrel tanks out and put in 20s real easily. Just as demand increases, we'll be able to meet it. Thinking of future growth has really been one of the other big parts for working on this brewery.
Because you've seen so many people do it maybe incorrectly, in the sense
or get trapped.
They start too small.
You build your
success engulfs them.
Right, and I don't want to have to go build another brewery in a few years necessarily. I thought there's plenty of space here.
What is the square footage total?
It's 11,200 total. Half of it taproom, half of it brewery for now. So, and the whole building is 28,000. In the long run, we may end up purchasing
more of the space.
More space in the long run.
But for now, you've got ample for a good year.
Exactly. Yeah, we've got ample for a little while. So
good. Yeah. So you knew from your experience how everybody cries and heartaches about how tough it is to get open. You get all the vision and all the plans on paper, and it may be even you know what equipment you want, you know what you want to do. The vision is all there.
Right.
Was it still as tough as you thought it might be, or as you heard everybody else tell the horror stories?
Worse.
Worse.
It's always worse.
Right.
And the thing is, I was mentally prepared for it, so I was ready when it happened, but it's just one of those, you get so excited on it. I've been working on this for a year and a half, and now it's finally coming to fruition. We're finally starting to see. But honestly, in comparison to a lot of places, a year and a half is a pretty quick start time.
Well, we've heard of many places 3 and 4 years.
Yeah, exactly.
They talk about we're coming soon.
Right.
That soon is a very variable item.
And that was the thing. I really didn't want to be talking about soon until we actually were really close. And so we really didn't go out and promote ourselves much in the marketplace because I didn't want to tease people and say, yeah, come try our beers, and then maybe, okay, so when can I have your beer? And then be like, in a year.
Right. So. But in the meantime, we've got the tap room open, a beautiful space.
Yeah.
Come drink a beer in North Raleigh.
Yep.
Get used to the Compass Rose name and location.
Yeah, and to me, when I think about the Compass Rose, it reflects back that the compass points give you a sense of direction. But in beer, our compass points are malt, water, hops, and yeast. And those are our directional points that give us guidance. What the beers, a lot of what we're doing, because John and Gary and Jose have this involvement in the food trade business, is what I'd like to call globally inspired, locally brewed.
Okay.
And that we're going to bring in those ingredients because they have access to markets that other folks don't. And we'll get to play with those different things. That's why an agave cream ale is interested. We're talking about doing a beer with tamarind. So there's different things that we can play and get access to that I haven't had access to before, and so I want to take full advantage of that.
Right. And yet tie yourself to the local environment and local market
exactly.
too. That's what you know too.
Right, precisely.
Very good. So, we wish you the best of luck.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us in.
Oh, my pleasure. Anytime.
Good. And we'll encourage our viewers to hit North Raleigh, past 540 on Capitol, on Gresham Lake Road, 3201 Gresham Lake Road.
Northside Drive.
Northside Drive. I knew I would screw that up. And Compass Rose Brewery. Thanks, Thomas. Until next time, this is NC Beer Guys. Dave and Glenn remind you to drink local and keep your beer dollars in North Carolina.